I had a client who was dating a narcissistic ex for over a year, and one day, out of the blue, he just discarded her. Like, he was gone. Like, gone. She was blocked everywhere. He wouldn't respond to emails. It was just like, poof. She would be staring at her phone, waiting for that ding from a text or that swoosh from an email, something that would give her some answer, some sense of closure as to what the heck happened. And all she got was silence. They didn't live together, so there really wasn't much for him to pick up. It was just various things he had left behind that she ended up just throwing away because he never came back for them. But she was climbing the walls with feelings of anxiety and abandonment. And of course she would. Anyone would feel that way when the person that they've been dating for a year just suddenly is gone with no answers. This is such a painful thing to go through. And she would be so anxious that she would often just pace around her apartment because she just almost didn't even know what to do with herself. She felt like she was going to go crazy if she didn't get any closure from this person. And that's understandable, right? But she couldn't because he had moved on, he had discarded her. And you might be thinking, well, maybe something happened to him. No, she actually was able to get in touch with people that knew him and said, no, he's okay. He had just moved on. But this is what narcissists tend to do. Sometimes it's not that abrupt, sometimes it's not that dramatic, but sometimes it does happen like that. And so she couldn't get answers from this person, and it really felt like she was going to go crazy. She couldn't sleep. It was hard for her to function at work. She wasn't eating well. Not knowing what happened was so hard on her. So you might be asking, well, what did she do to get some sense of closure? How did she move on? How did she get to the place where she was feeling good again and like she wasn't losing her mind? And what can you do if something like this or something similar has happened to you? What do you do when you can't get answers from your ex? In this video, I'm going to walk you through what I did for her and how you can apply this to your situation. But first, really quick, in case you're new here, welcome. My name is Lindsay and I am the Real Love Alchemist, and I'm here to help you go from bad relationships to real love with the magic of subconscious work. So if you're interested in working with me, I'm going to leave the link in the description to book a free consultation call with me. So let's first talk about closure. What are we really wanting when we say we want closure, when we feel like we desperately need answers? We want to know what happened, right? We want to know why this person did what they did, why they treated us the way they did. But often we can't get that. Maybe our exes aren't communicating with us, or in my case, we were communicating, but they actually just didn't know what was going on themselves. They couldn't tell me, they couldn't give me any answers. So we've got to go deeper here. The reason we're looking for closure is because we're in pain. Someone has hurt us, our ex has hurt us. And we imagine that if we had those answers, if we knew why they hurt us, if we knew why they treated us the way they did, if we knew why they cheated or why they left or whatever happened, if we had those answers, we imagine that we would feel better, that the pain would stop. And sometimes when a miracle happens and we do get those answers from our ex, there's a little bit of relief. It can help a little bit. But the truth is, even when you get those answers, it doesn't take away the pain. The hurt is still there. There's still healing that we need to do on our end because knowing the answers doesn't automatically just take the pain away, even though we think it will. That's the story that our mind tells us. I just need the answers and then I'll feel better, right? But that's not the reality. The reality is, even if you get the answers, they're often not what you want to hear. The answers that we want to hear are something like, well, I left you because I loved you so much and it scared me, but now I'm back and I'm ready to move forward and I'm ready to love you again. Something like that, right? That's what we want to hear. But the real answer could be something like, I left you because I didn't feel the connection that I needed to feel, or I was interested in someone else. The truth could be really painful. And now some people might argue, well, at least I would know the truth and I could move forward. And yes, that would be great if someone could give you that clarity, those answers, but you don't actually need it. Because what we're really looking for here isn't the answers. what we're looking for is peace. We want the pain to stop. And that's the really good news here, because you don't need your ex to give you answers to feel peace after a breakup. That you can find on your own. So for my client, I used my secret weapon, which, you guys, whenever I talk about this, I feel like if more people knew about how fast and effective this is, they would be like, why isn't everybody doing this? That's how confident I am in this work. It's amazing. So I use energy healing to get to the root of what was blocking my client from feeling that peace about the end of the relationship and how painful it was. When I tap into my client's subconscious, it takes me straight to the root, we release it, and they're able to move forward. And what's blocking that peace is usually a bunch of different things. There's often a lot of trapped emotions like abandonment, like anger, resentment, betrayal, grief, sadness, longing. There can be a ton of different emotional energies that are blocking that peace that's already within you. These are the things that keep you looking, searching, longing for that sense of closure and to have some answers. And these are the same things that make up a trauma bond and make it so hard to move on from an ex. And so with this client, we focus on releasing all of those energies that were keeping her from feeling better and finding that peace after that breakup. So for her in particular, there were also some energetic cords between her and her ex that were also making it hard to move on from that breakup and find peace. So we released those and she felt a lot better. And the last step to helping her find that peace after that breakup was to rewire and release some of the negative subconscious beliefs that she was carrying around. Did you know you can do that energetically? It's the most amazing thing. These were beliefs that she didn't even realize that she had. They were deeply buried in her subconscious. And these were actually things that drew her to that narcissistic partner in the first place. They were beliefs like, I don't deserve love, or no one cares, and I always get rejected. These beliefs were keeping her stuck in that painful place, always looking for closure. There was something else that came up for her that's called an idea allergy. And this is a subtle subconscious resistance to something. And for her, she had a resistance to the idea of letting go. These idea allergies usually form from suppressed emotional energy. So we released those first, and then we were able to release that idea allergy of letting go so that she could truly move on. So we released all of those energies, and this took a little while. This took a few weeks because this was not an easy thing to move on from. There was a lot of emotional baggage to work through, but at the end of our work together, she found peace. And guess what? When she found that peace, she did not give a hoot anymore about getting closure, because that was the whole point of the closure. She wanted that peace. And once she had it, she didn't care about getting answers anymore. So if this is you, if you feel like you really need closure, you really need some answers, you can't get them from your ex, I can help. Click on the link in the description to book a free call with me, and we'll talk about your particular situation and how my work can help. So to wrap this all up here, when you're looking for closure, it's not that you actually need the answers from your ex. It's that you want the pain to go away, and you don't need your ex to get to that point where you feel good again and where you have peace after a breakup. You can find those things completely on your own. Speaking of recovering from a really painful breakup, do you feel like you've got walls up around your heart that are keeping you from opening up to someone new? If you do, check out this video here.